Earlier this week, Apple held its annual developer conference where the company unveiled a bunch of new software for your iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, your Mac, and there's even some updates for the Apple TV. Well, those updates aren't expected to officially arrive until this fall, but Apple has given developers early access, as it typically does, to the updates beforehand. I'm Jason Cipriani, and in this ZDNet how-to video, I'm going to show you how to install iOS 16 and iPadOS 16, but more importantly, I'm going to explain to you why you should wait to install it until later on during the beta program. So let's get the caveat, the warning, all of that out of the way first. So the most important thing here is the developer beta, which is available now, the first beta for developers to begin building their apps and integrating new features like lock screen widgets, which is a new feature in iOS 16, or the new external monitor support for iPad, which is new in iPadOS 16, as well as what they call Stage Manager, so you can do a lot more multitasking in resized windows on the iPad now. It's becoming more and more like a Mac, which is fabulous in my opinion. But here's the deal. The betas aren't finished, right? That's why they're called a beta. And Apple advises even developers not to install these early builds on their daily production devices. So devices that they rely on to get work done and that they need to be consistent and reliable day in and day out. The same goes for average consumers or users, even if you love living on the bleeding edge. You need to either wait to install the beta, is Apple's recommendation, or prepare a secondary device that you can install and test the new software on as well. And the main reason here is the beta breaks things, breaks features, breaks APIs, which is what apps use to interact with the operating system. Battery life is absolutely horrible. You're going to take a hit on battery life. And in the past, I've personally had batteries that only lasted on, relatively new iPhones for half a day, maybe 3/4 of a day, or 3/4 of the amount of what it normally would last. And it's been, especially when traveling, that's not something you want to happen. Another thing is, like I said, it breaks apps with the APIs. And so at times I've had banking apps not work because Face ID or Touch ID was broken. I've had apps that just simply won't open. At one point, Twitter wouldn't even work. And so the point is, this is not a reliable update. You're going to want to have a reliable device, especially if there are apps you depend on and rely on daily to get work done. You want to wait to install a beta. The public beta, which is a more stable build, will launch sometime in July. Apple hasn't given us specifics yet. I would imagine around mid-July. And that usually is a little bit better than the first couple developer betas, which is what we have now. If you still insist on installing the developer beta, here's what you need to do and what you need to know. So first off, you need to have a paid developer account. So it costs $99 per year to have a paid developer account. That gives you access to pre-release builds from Apple, as well as Apple's documentation, the App Store, so you can publish apps. It gives you access to all of Apple's developer suite of tools. So you have to pay the $99. Now I know you can Google various profiles that you can install and download beta releases. However, there's no way to guarantee that those are safe. Yes, the community at large may find a website that they feel like they can trust, but there's no way to guarantee the files you download from a third-party website haven't been compromised in some way. There's no way to check that. So I wouldn't recommend going and installing the beta profiles from a random third-party website that has supposedly rehosted it. I'm sure they have good intentions, but again, there's no way to check that it's not a malicious file. All right, so if you have a developer account, what you'll need to do then is log into your account on your iPhone or your iPad, whatever device it is you want to install iOS 16 or iPadOS 16 on. And once you're in your developer account, what you'll do is go to the download section, which is going to be in the top bar here. You'll tap on downloads. And then you'll have a list of the various operating systems along with the option to install a profile. So on an iPhone, I would tap under iOS 16 beta, install profile. It'll ask if I want to allow the website to download and store the profile. Now that the profile is downloaded, I'll go to the Settings app, where I am asked if I want to approve iOS 16 software beta profile. I will install it, have to enter my PIN code, tap install, install. Now the phone will reboot, and once it does, you'll check for a software update by going to General, or Settings, General, Software Update, and install iOS 16, just like you would any other software update. But here's another caveat to it that I failed to mention earlier. You can go back to iOS 15, but there's no way to restore a backup that was created on iOS 16 on iOS 15, meaning you have to factory reset your device in order to go back, which is problematic if you have important information on your device that you didn't create a backup for and you need to access that. So view going to iOS 16 as a somewhat permanent jump, or at the very least, create a backup of your device on your computer. That way it's stored locally before you update your device to iOS 16. Now again, the public beta launches sometime in July. I'll have another how-to video out once that happens and walk you through the process. It's actually really easy, just like this developer beta to install, but it's free. You don't have to pay anything. There's no $99 a year fee or anything like that. Once again, I'm Jason Cipriani with ZDNet. Make sure to check out the website for more tech news and how-to tips just like this one.